Hello YouTube, it's Dan from Sports 360. Welcome to the channel. We will be posting NBA content throughout the whole season. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button, it would truly mean a lot. Now, play the intro. NBA season is around the corner, and today I will be giving you my 2023 NBA Western Conference standings. At 15, we got the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets will be a fun team to watch this year. They're led by new head coach Ime Udoka and free agent signings in Fred VanVleet and Dillon Brooks. My one concern for this team would be that they have a little bit too much depth. I feel like this season wouldn't be their season. I feel next year they have a top pick in the draft and they trade that pick to get a superstar to compete next year. I also feel like Jalen Green needs to make that next jump. Either like for the Rockets to be good, he needs to improve on his defense and become more of a dynamic player instead of just a score first. Alperen Sengun be the actual star of the team. You saw flashes of it last season where they ran through the offense through him. I'm also excited to see the development of Jabari Smith Jr. He had such a dominant summer league performance. He looked like a 10-year vet out there against those kids. I also have high hopes for the rookie Amen Thompson. He looked really good in summer league. He could develop to either replacing Fred at the starting point or either being an elite six man in the future. But Houston's going to be a very fun team to watch this year, but I still have them as the 15th seed. At 14, we got the Portland Trail Blazers. They just traded away their Hall of Famer in Damian Lillard, and now it's time to tank. But the team might actually be too good to tank. They have potentially can shock the league and make a playoff push with the team they have now. I feel like DeAndre Ayton proves that he's a top center in the league. He's going to have a bounce back year for sure. I also feel like that Scoot Henderson will struggle early on and Anthony Simons will shine because of it. I feel like midway through the season, Chauncey Billups will get fired because he just doesn't fit their timeline and everything. The new acquisitions of Malcolm Brogdon, he doesn't fit this team at all. I feel like he's going to get traded at the deadline for some picks or some young players. That's why I feel like they will be at 14. They could potentially move up into the play-in though, but they need to tank. At 13, we got the Utah Jazz. Utah's led by Finland star Lauri Markkanen. He had such a breakout season last year that I feel that this year he will have a down season compared to last year. I also feel like Walker Kessler will be a defensive player of the year candidate. Overall, I think it would just come down to star power in the West, and Utah does not have that. With their acquisition of John Collins in the offseason, that won't help them at all, I feel like. They just got to tank it out this year and tank for a guard. They're lacking depth at the point guard and shooting guard position with Jordan Clarkson aging up there. Colin Sexton not really proven that he has anything to show yet. I think it's time to tank and get a good guard for next year. At 12, we got the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are led by Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. But this year, they won't have their superstar in Ja Morant because he will be suspended for 25 games. With that, he will be replaced by Marcus Smart. We don't know which Marcus Smart we will get. I don't know if we will get the Boston one or a washed version, and that will complain to get bought out and move to a different team. But in this offense, I feel that Jaren Jackson Jr. will blossom. He will surpass 20 points and be a dominant force on defense again. I also feel like they will miss Dillon Brooks. He was such a scrappy player for the team, and now who will do all the dirty work for the team now? Steven Adams is still hurt. That will still leave a big question mark. But with the Ja Morant suspension, I feel like they will go down to 12. Just the West is too stacked for them. At 11, we got the San Antonio Spurs. They're led by first overall pick in Victor Wembanyama. If Wemby is what people say he is, then he will win them some games for sure. But the big question mark for the Spurs is, will they have a second star to pair up with him? Will Keldon Johnson take that next leap to go to a 25-point game score? But I feel like Devin Vassell will break out and be a candidate for most improved player of the year. I also feel like Jeremy Sohan will fill that Draymond Green type of role. So if all these players say what I think they will be, they will win some games, but they are still missing that big time star. So they can, with this pick for next year, they can trade and get a star in return. But I think they will finish at 11. Now we're getting into the play-in teams, and at 10, we got the Golden State Warriors. The big three is starting to show their age, with recently coming in the news that Draymond Green has a high-end ankle sprain and he'll be out for 3 to 6 weeks. That puts Chris Paul into the starting lineup, and I feel like the Chris Paul experiment will not work, and he will get moved at the deadline. This year, we're also looking at Jonathan Kuminga. Will he finally break out? Everyone's speculating that he will. Who knows? But he's been mentored by Draymond, so he's saying good stuff about him. We'll see. And for the Warriors to succeed, we need Wiggins to play all season. I feel like you can't have a lineup with just Curry, Thompson, Paul, Wiggins, and Looney. That's not going to win you enough games, I don't feel like. Maybe Curry explodes and has good games, but I don't think they're going to... The West is too stacked for them to be successful and be in the top again. But my sleeper for this year is Brandon Podziemski out of Santa Clara, the rookie. I feel like he's going to show some flashes, and then next year he's going to be a quality NBA player and be a person to watch. At 9, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're led by Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert. This team, I feel like, will have chemistry issues all throughout the year. Karl-Anthony Towns has been in trade rumors all summer. Jaden McDaniels has been complaining to the coaches that he is not getting enough touches on offense. Anthony Edwards is only talking about Rudy Gobert, how they'll be a dynamic pick-and-roll duo, which I do feel like they will be a top pick-and-roll duo in the league by the end of the year. Forming by like the deadline, Chris Finch will be fired. They'll find some new head coach that will elevate there, like Mike Budenholzer. I feel like would be a good coach for them. And I feel like the Karl-Anthony Towns power forward experiment will not work, and he will get traded probably at the end of next year in the offseason, so they can finally give the keys to Anthony Edwards. But I feel like they will end up at the 9th seed again. For the final play-in spot, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder there, led by star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's such a dynamic player, and he will win them a lot of games, but not enough to solidify them for a playoff spot. Josh Giddey is that perfect mid-average scorer, rebounder, and assist leader for that team. My hot take for this team would be that Chet Holmgren wins Rookie of the Year with averaging 3 blocks this season. This team will be a fun team to watch this year. It would be one of the more exciting teams to turn on the TV for. But just the West is too stacked for them. They need that one superstar for this team to go over the top and contend in the West. Now we get into the playoff lock teams. At number 6, we got the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas is led by Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. They acquired big-time signings and trades in Grant Williams, Rashad Holmes, and Seth Curry. My one concern for this team would be, do they have enough depth, or who will be the third person to step up when needed? Will it be Tim Hardaway Jr.? Will it be second-year pro Jaden Hardy? Or will it be Josh Green, where he gets a more dynamic role in the offense? Obviously, Luka and Kyrie will put on a show during the season. They'll have big-time performances. They'll be on SportsCenter and everything, but will it translate enough into wins? My one surprise player for this year would be Derek Lively. He was a steal in the draft, and I feel like he can easily move his way into the starting rotation, being a perfect pick-and-roll partner with Luka. Will Luka and Kyrie get him enough wins to secure a playoff spot? I don't know, but I have them going at 6. At 5, we got the Sacramento Kings. Last season, the Kings shocked everyone by making the playoffs for the first time in roughly 20 years. I feel that Fox and Sabonis will continue their dominance where they left off last season. I feel Mike Brown will unlock the potential of Keegan Murray, and he will thrive this season. I feel Davion Mitchell will excel in his offensive game this year, other than just defense. I feel like he will also make a defensive All-NBA team. My sleeper player for this year would be Sasha Vescoov. Sorry if I pronounced his name wrong, but he was MVP in the EuroLeague, and I feel like his game will translate perfectly in today's NBA. I feel that they're only going to be the 5th seed because all the other teams after them, if they stay healthy, are better than the Kings. But at number 4, we got the New Orleans Pelicans. This might be shocking to everyone, but if Zion stays healthy, they will become finals contenders. My prediction is that he plays at least 70 games this year. He's going to have a bounce back year. He's going to prove all the media wrong about his injury history and everything. Like, they're running the same roster back, no additions throughout the offseason. I feel CJ is going to still produce like at least like 18 and like 6 assists. Brandon Ingram's going to be that scorer when Zion is being clamped by someone, if someone clamps him. Like, they have a good enough roster to make a finals contention, but it's all up to Zion. And I feel like this is Zion's year, and he'll have a bounce back year. At number 3, we got the Los Angeles Lakers, potentially the winners of this year's offseason. They brought back D'Lo, they brought back Austin Reeves, they brought back Vanderbilt, they signed key additions in Gabe Vincent, Tayshaun Prince, Jackson Hayes, Cam Reddish. They have such a deep team, and where they left off last season, I feel like they will continue that dominance and be a 3rd seed. They need Anthony Davis to stay healthy, I feel like, to actually like be a top seed. I feel like Davis will have a healthy season also. LeBron going into his age 39 season, so we see if he's going to slow down, but I highly doubt it. But I feel like they will end up a 3rd seed and be finals contenders. At number 2, we got the Phoenix Suns. My one concern for this team would be that they don't have chemistry at all. They have new additions in Bradley Beal, Eric Gordon, Diop, Drew Eubanks. I feel like Bradley Beal at that point guard position, I don't know if he personally played ever point guard, but he was always a dominant shooting guard, so that might be a little bit of a rough spot for them. They also brought in Nurkic from the Damian Lillard trade. They will have a slow start to the season, and they will lose some key games. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose a game like to the Trailblazers or something like that, but I also feel like during the regular season they will have load management. Like, I know they just came up with the rule saying like you can't like sit for 2 straight games or something like that, but they will find a way to go around that rule and rest so they will be healthy for the playoffs. And finally, for my number 1 seed, I got the Denver Nuggets. They're led by Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, coming right off a championship win. I feel like Jokic will continue where he left off the past few seasons, just dominate the entire league. Jamal Murray will prove why he's a top 5 guard in the league. Remember, last year was his first year coming off that ACL injury, so now imagine a full offseason of healthy Jamal Murray. Even though they probably didn't do much in the offseason coming off the championship win, I still feel like they're the most complete team in the whole league. They have the whole roster coming back other than Bruce Brown. I do feel like they will miss Bruce Brown's like grit on the floor and everything, but I feel Christian Brown will replace him because of it. So that's my number 1 seed coming into the West. Thank you for watching. Part 2 is next with the Eastern Conference. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button. It would truly mean a lot. Until next time, peace.